Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. Hope you had a great holiday. I'm Bridget Bjorlo. I'm glad you're here. Let's send it out to Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc, who braved the crowds over at West Farms Mall. Julia, tell us about the international retail holiday known as Boxing Day.
Well, Santa may have left his seat here at the mall, but a lot of people are still taking advantage of some holiday deals here at West Farms for what's internationally known as Boxing Day. The day after Christmas and Hanukkah, some local malls are flourishing with foot traffic.
We've done some Christmas shopping, and now we have some Christmas presents that we need to exchange and return.
Raisa Armada and her daughter Sienna are braving the crowds at West Farms Mall for what has become a family holiday tradition.
It's just a sort of a way of, getting things in and out of the house and making sure that everyone got what they wanted and gets to enjoy their new presents.
They're joined by many others to catch long-lasting deals, make some returns, and buy new things. In the UK and Canada, this day is observed as Boxing Day, and many American retailers are catching on.
Gift card redemption is a big day, the week leading after Christmas. I think it's a great day to come back in and take advantage of those post-holiday sales and pick out something just for you.
Those deals are what drag people in year after year.
Her husband's my brother, and he used to say, "Are you two nuts? You're going out the day after Christmas?" I said, "That's when we get all our bargains."
And Jeanette Richard and her shopping squad are getting smarter. They bring in reinforcements to shop until they drop.
And last year, we didn't have a cart, and our arms were killing us as we walked out with the bags. So I mentioned it to my friend. She goes, "I've got a cart." I said, "You can come with us."
It's a tactic they'll be sure to make their new tradition as they find steals to send them into the new year.
Hot cocoa, which is regularly $30, and what did we get it for? $4.99. So nice stocking gifts for next year. We did good. We did real good.
A type of commitment retailers are starting to rely on.
That post-holiday week is a really important week for retailers as they're looking to meet their goals for the 2024 season.
Well, if you couldn't make it out on Boxing Day, you still have time, of course, to make those returns. Just check your receipts to make sure you don't miss the window. We are at West Farms in West Hartford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Julia, thank you very much. Turning now to our weather. Lots of sunshine again today for those holiday shoppers. But what's on tap as we look ahead to the weekend? Sam Sampieri is here with your forecast. How is it looking, Sam?
Well, Bridget, we have to get through one more very cold night, and then we're going to start a nice gradual warming trend. We're going to have temperatures down into the teens, maybe even down near 10 degrees in some of our colder towns. High pressure in control, not much wind, great radiational cooling. Thus, that's why we're going to have one of a colder night again. Currently, we're down into the 20s to near 30 across the region. So overnight, we'll have those temperatures dropping down into the teens. This is the Hartford area. Let's take a look at the overnight low across all of Connecticut. You can see down to 12 in Willimantic, 13. So some of our colder towns in those valleys could get down to 9 or 10 degrees, like Staffordville, Bakerville in northern areas, and even down in southern areas, we're going to have temperatures down into the teens. During the day, after a very cold, frosty start, mostly sunny, a bit milder in the afternoon, mid to upper 30s, some high clouds with the sun going down at 4:27. And yes, we gained a few minutes since 4:19, and highs for everybody averaging in the upper 30s to near 40. Coming up, I will detail the weekend. We will have to talk about a little bit of icing potential on Saturday morning, and then what about the rest of the weekend leading us into the New Year holiday? Details coming up in a few minutes. Bridget?
All right, Sam, thank you. Talk soon. Right now, the search is on for the person or people responsible for 2 ATM thefts. A Shell station in Manchester was hit, as well as a Valero in East Hartford. East Hartford police tell us the thief forced open the front door and broke the ATM. They do have security footage of this, but the investigation is still in its early stages. And over in Manchester, police believe the thief drove a dark-colored Acura MDX. They did not get the license plate. It's still unclear if these burglaries were connected. We sent Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot to check in with police as they continue to investigate. She'll have an update for us tonight at 10. And right now, authorities in New Hampshire are investigating the deaths of 4 people in a home on Christmas Day. They believe the victims were poisoned by carbon monoxide. It happened in Wakefield, about 50 miles west of Portland, Maine. Raya Witten spoke with neighbors today who say they were stunned when they learned what happened.
They're not close friends, just neighbors. The unspoken rule, neighbors keep watch of each other, now means more to Ron and Winona Bernard than it ever did before.
It's just like the 4 of us right here in these houses, and yeah, it's very disturbing. I had a hard time going to sleep last night.
Winona and Ron spent Christmas Day in Wells, Maine with their son and family. Wednesday evening, as she and Ron were heading back to their home in East Wakefield, New Hampshire, Winona got a call from one of her neighbors. Her neighbor was letting her know that something was going on at the home tucked in the trees across the way. When they arrived home around 8:30 p.m., they could see that 2962 Province Lake Road was a full-on investigation scene.
Never ever would have dreamt something like that would happen.
According to the New Hampshire Fire Marshal's office, Wakefield Police Department responded to the home around 4:21 p.m. on Christmas Day to conduct a welfare check. That's when they found 4 people deceased in the home. Wakefield Police and Fire Department, as well as the New Hampshire's Fire Marshal's office, are still completing a joint investigation. But investigators say they believe carbon monoxide filled the home, killing everyone in it. A sad story that neighbors carry the burden to tell.
At least with a fire happening, you get the smoke that's going to warn you. But with that, you don't know. I guess that's why they call it the silent killer.
In East Wakefield, Raya Wooten, News Center, Maine.
While we don't have all the details from this incident, officials are reminding people of simple ways to keep you and your family safe this winter. Make sure you have a working carbon monoxide detector near every sleeping area in your home. Also, make sure to check the batteries at least twice a year. Have your heating system and all gas and oil appliances inspected. Never use a gas range or oven to heat your home. And also, never use portable generators inside or in the garage, even if you have doors and windows open. They can definitely be dangerous. New here at 6, the mother of Martha Moxley, who was the center of a high-profile Connecticut murder case, has died. The family of Dorothy Moxley says she died from flu complications and possibly pneumonia at her home in New Jersey on Tuesday. She was 92 years old. Dorothy Moxley fought for decades for justice for her daughter, Martha. In October 1975, Martha Moxley's body was found at the family estate in Greenwich, right across the street from the family home of Michael Skakel, who is Kennedy's cousin. He was convicted in her murder in 2002. The state Supreme Court vacated his conviction, though, in 2018. As an update on a house fire in Southington early this morning, Howard Avenue and West Center Road are back open after firefighters attacked this fire for a few hours. Those homeowners will not be sleeping there tonight. They're now displaced. Officials say the callers reported a light fixture on a fire in the basement area. Firefighters were inside the home at first, but they had to evacuate because they couldn't see through the smoke. We're told they had a hard time locating the flames. Crews had to call for support from other fire stations in town. They also said they had some of their equipment malfunction due to the cold conditions. Officials have not said exactly what caused this fire. And the person who died in an apartment fire in Bridgeport on Monday has been identified. 26-year-old Fabienne Laremy died from her injuries at the scene. Police say the fire happened just before 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve on Connecticut Avenue. It took crews more than 2 hours to put out the flames. 3 people were taken to the hospital. The Red Cross helped relocate 14 adults, 6 children, and 1 dog who lived there. Investigators are now looking into exactly the cause of this fire. Danbury police need your help tonight finding the person who hit someone with their car last night and then drove away. It happened around 7:45 last night. Officers said they found a pedestrian lying on the sidewalk on Lake Avenue. That person was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Officers are looking for the driver of this silver Toyota Prius. If you saw the crash or recognize the vehicle, you're asked to call Danbury Police. And another pedestrian crash to tell you about in Danbury that happened last night. This one was deadly. It happened around 9:15 near the corner of Main and Liberty Streets. Officers found the person lying in the road and the car with front end damage stopped nearby. The pedestrian was taken to the hospital where they died from their injuries. The driver stayed at the scene and were told cooperated with police. Liberty Street was closed in both directions for several hours as police investigated. Fox 61 just learned about a delivery driver who was robbed at gunpoint in Fairfield on Saturday. Police say a delivery driver got out of their vehicle to deliver a package, and that's when the robber got in, and they say the driver tried to stop them, but the person pointed a gun at them and drove away. The driver is okay. Police tracked the van down and found the driver's personal items, but several packages we're told were stolen. Fairfield police are now investigating exactly what happened there. And right now, the airports are quiet after a busy day. Bradley was certainly bustling, and tomorrow is expected to be even busier as people return home from their holiday destinations. We sent a crew out to Bradley International this morning to monitor the lines and speak with travelers. There were periods when lines were so backed up and other times when there was no wait at all to get through security. Marissa from Monroe says she was surprised by how many people that she encountered.
There wasn't a lot of traffic, but once I got here, it's packed. I've never seen the airport so packed.
Marissa tells us that she is trading in the Connecticut cold for warm weather in Miami. As a reminder, get to the airport early. The advice is at least 2 hours early. Security lines fluctuate throughout the day, and it is best to play it safe because you don't want to miss your flight. The Connecticut State Police tell us they responded to more than 1,600 calls in the first 3 days of the holiday week. Among those calls, troopers say they stopped nearly 170 drivers in total. 15 were suspected to be driving under the influence. The agency says there were 150 crashes, 14 of them had injuries. Call volume is expected to remain high through the holiday weekend as well as next week leading up to New Year's Day.